Hi everyone, and welcome to my final playthrough video for Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. This is Chapter 16, Sovereign Power. So this one starts off with a level that is very similar to Isla del Sol from Bayonetta 1, which was the Space Harrier themed level that had some pieces of Afterburner in it as well. This one is almost pure Afterburner. It's cool. Jet Fighter Assault is in the Afterburner style font. And yeah, it might look like Afterburner Climax a little bit to fans of that game. So this one is much like the previous chapter. When you're on the ground, it's a bit of a boss rush stage where you're facing off again with the various boss angels from the game. And as far as I could tell, none of their attacks are all that different. And so it's yeah, kind of a throwaway chapter, and it, unlike maybe even like the horse level, it's not all that interesting to look at. You're just flying towards Fimbulventer, and yeah. So, however, I guess the really cool thing about this is if you have or you obtain the Star Fox costume later, this entire stage will change to a Star Fox themed look. So you'll be in an R-Wing, and the targeting reticle looks like it does in Star Fox. There was a video from, I think, September on YouTube that was pretty popular and showed what it actually looks like in the game. It's very cool that Platinum and Nintendo put that in here. There's a lot of Nintendo stuff in terms of like the costumes that you can get and some other references, but in terms of completely changing the look of the stage, I thought that was really great. So I can't wait to try that out and see what it's like. And so yeah, you're fighting the again the same bosses. This one is interesting in that you're firing behind you, but ultimately it's pretty easy. I don't think I get a very good score on this one. Yeah, I got a stone on time. And so after that, which doesn't last too long, thankfully, you are now on Fimbulventer. There is a Muspelheim battle here, so don't miss that. And this one, yeah, just don't get hit. It's pretty easy. This is the guy from earlier in the game that gave me a bit of trouble in terms of some of his attacks. He has one where he throws his sword almost underground and then it comes up from underneath you. That one takes a little bit of a delay right here. If you dodge that too early, you'll get hit. But yeah, ultimately this one isn't too bad. And apart from one that happened earlier in the game, I haven't thought that any of these were all that difficult. Maybe if you're going for pure platinum, they might be, but for the most part, these are all very beatable your first time through. At least the ones I found. I'm sure I missed some. Unlike Bayonetta 1, where even some of the Alfheim battles that you could find, like there's one where a fiery train is coming at you and you jump over it, and if you backtrack you'll find an Alfheim portal. That one is, at least for me, was basically impossible to beat on my first playthrough. I tried easily for an hour, and ultimately I gave up, and I looked online, and sure enough, in a FAQ and on various forums, they're like, yeah, you can't do it your first time through. You might be able to your second if you have the right either weapons or accessories. And so I thought that was just kind of lame, because I felt like, okay, if I wasn't meant to beat it my first time, why even make it accessible? But it is what it is. And thankfully that sort of thing is nowhere to be found in Bayonetta 2, thankfully. So I'm very happy about that. I thought the Muspelheim battles in Bayonetta 2 were all really good. They're fun, they're quick, and there are some that are very, very challenging, but not impossible by any standard. So I'm very, like I said, very happy about that. So here, you are facing off with Acer. I guess that's how you say it. He's he's appropriately creepy. Like this shot here, man, he makes you feel very uneasy. Way more than Baldur was in the first Bayonetta. Unfortunately, he's almost as worthy, not worthy, but wordy, as Baldur was in the first game. And some of the dialogue at the end of this game, sort of, you know, Emperor Palpatine a bit there. And some of it's pretty heavy-handed and cheesy, but ultimately the message and the story that Platinum is trying to tell, I guess, is successful in the end. It has a tendency to be just long-winded and just too much. But I think it works all right. It's not going to win any writing awards, but for the sake of what I feel is the equivalent of a summer action popcorn flick, it gets the job done. And so I cut out a big cutscene in the middle here where he takes the power from Bayonetta, gets the left eye, and gets even stronger. You know, he's summoning, you know, those cargo ship things that you were aboard in the first game. In the second, he'll summon the giant Akira-like war satellite that will fire at you as well. So yeah, it's something that is very different from Bayonetta 1. Bayonetta 1 ended with that huge long fight with Jubileus, and it's good, but it's long. And whereas this one is much more contained, much more personal, and I think way more fun. I have seen some comments saying, "Oh, that's it, you know, nothing all that major," and it does do some things that are very similar to the end of Bayonetta 1. But I liked it. I mean, he's fun to fight, and I think that's the main and most important thing of a game like this, is that it's fun. It's not very gimmicky, and it's all about reaction time and not getting hit. So I think in that sense, it's a very successful last battle. Is he a cool end boss as a character? Well, that's debatable. I think he's a bit cheesy, but yeah, I guess that's what they came up with, so that's what we have to live with. He's yeah, just he continues to switch up his attacks and everything. You know, he's firing missiles at you, and again, I just love it when you go into Witch Time and you can see the air and atmosphere, I guess space in this case, warping around you. Did a really nice job on the effects. And this final part, again, there's some dialogue that I cut out. Loki, it's all about the role of humans and how much power they have and the decisions they make. It all makes sense. A little kind of corny, but hey, he's a kid. And so finally, after you kind of get a free beat-up session with them, you and Baldur summon your final climax attack, which is yeah, pretty similar to the first game. It even has the Infiniton final attack, as well as a sequence where he goes flying towards the not so much flying towards the sun this time as Jubileus did, or Baldur. Now I can't remember which one it was in the first game. This shows how important I thought the story was. But now he's flying towards the demon that Jeanne summoned, so she kind of has a role, or plays a role at the end of this game. Kind of comical, but ultimately it's, you know, it's pretty cool. I only got silver, unfortunately, but you do get a ton of halos for the last battle. And I cut out all of the final cinematics, just in case there are people watching who haven't played the game yet. And it's very long, so even if you have, it'd be very kind of boring to sit through. And so just like the first game, you do go through the credits, and it's playable. And so there are 5, I believe, verses during the credits that you have to finish and, you know, get pure platinum if you want. As you see, I failed the first 2, but did finish and get most of the stuff on the last 3. So now you'll unlock your play history after you're done, and you'll unlock several other things. You can now play as Jean. The world of Bayonetta 2, which, like the first game, has a soundtrack and a bunch of art and 3D models, new products, changing costumes now, I believe, with that mirror. And yeah, so you get to the end, and this just shows what's in the world of Bayonetta 2. Also, there's a second credit sequence where she does a bit of the pole dancing, similar to the first game, and it plays the original Fly Me to the Moon, which is very beautiful. I liked the style of the graphics in the first game for that sequence a little better. I think it just had a nicer, old school James Bond 60s appeal to it, whereas this one doesn't have as nice a style, which is surprising given that the rest of the game is so damn good. And so here, after you are done, you unlock additional stages that are more just like endurance tests, these witch trials. So each of these stages has multiple, I guess, floors that you have to go through that are sort of like the Muspelheim battles, and they just get progressively more difficult. So it's something for folks who want 100% the game. There's more to do, so you don't just have to go through the main campaign. There's these as well, and tag climax mode, which I have not even touched yet, so perhaps one day soon I will. But I would love to go through the game again, even on second climax, to try and pure platinum it, get more of the accessories and all the costumes and everything. So there's just a ton of stuff to do in this game. So again, great value. And so I only showed one floor. I think there was 6 floors, platinum 2, and didn't do so good on the others, and got gold overall. So anyway, that is Bayonetta 2, and I will see you in the video review. Thanks for hanging out for all these videos, and have a good one.